So how do you know this?
That was across the street.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
This is possibly the worst cover-up I've ever seen. I mean, when you think of government cover-ups and shady things they've done, they've never been this sloppy, right? I mean, most people don't know the various crimes of the CIA that extend past black people. So you'd think the government would have gotten better at concealing the truth. Well, you'd be wrong. The Epstein cover-up has gotten so sloppy, the MAGA party is currently imploding on itself, and various political influencers have abandoned Trump because the obvious has been made even more apparent for them. Our president is definitely suspect, allegedly. But I wanted to talk about some of the twists and turns and developments from the Epstein case and maybe draw a conclusion on whether or not we're gonna see these files. And also talking about how the orange man can't seem to get his story straight. I'm gonna stop rambling. Y'all know I'm the hood Socrates, but this time, let's just cook the stupidity of the government a little bit. If you don't know, Jeffrey Epstein ran one of the largest PDF rings in America. But to run a ring that large, obviously there are people involved. So when he got arrested, you'd assume that when he went down, there were more coming with him. But before that could happen, Epstein passed away by his own hand, allegedly. And that's where all the conspiracy comes from. People think that before Epstein could yap and reveal all the names, the government took him out. Something his partner in crime, Ghislaine Maxwell, corroborated.
Do you believe that he committed? Because many don't.
No, he didn't. I don't believe he did. I believe that he was murdered.
Also, this is all alleged. Officially, Epstein did pass away by his own hands. Currently though, the world wants all things Epstein released, and the most important one is the client list so we can see who exactly was involved. And if Epstein didn't take himself off the planet and it was through external forces, that would imply there is a sufficient reason to hide it. In other words, some powerful people are involved, allegedly. This has led to the collapse of the MAGA party because if there's one thing humans are gonna set their differences aside on, it's PDF files. Because personally, I'd like to think even your average bigoted Trump fan isn't gonna sit idly by and support the harm of children. I guess I'd be thinking very optimistically. But let me give you guys some more context, because earlier this year in February, the FBI had a different tune. They were saying they wanted more accountability and no cover-ups, and this was during the phase 1 of the Epstein files. This is when the government released it to a bunch of right-wing influencers, which is basically cocoa melon for conservatives. And on top of that, phase 1 consisted of leaked documents that we're now releasing in a formal capacity. In other words, they're spitting in your face and telling you they're just trying to cool you down. They try to turn a leak into a favor for their side. Since we're on the topic of leaks, if you don't want to end up like the government and have a precious document you're trying to keep private leak, let me introduce you to today's sponsor, Aura. You probably get a bunch of annoying text messages, or if you check your email, it's probably filled to the brim with spam. It's because of data brokers. They're companies that take your information and sell it for profit. And technically, they have to remove your information if you ask. That's by law. The way they circumvent this though is that they make the process to contact them hard and tedious. But with Aura, you can lounge back while they do the work. And you're probably thinking, DH, you're just yapping. It's a sponsor. You get paid to promote them, which, I mean, yeah, I do, but trust me, I don't just accept sponsors, and privacy is a big thing for me. Aura can help you maintain your privacy with minimal effort. I'd be dumb if I didn't let y'all know about it. What makes Aura better is that it's a versatile tool. It has dark web monitoring, so if your info appears there, you'll know. Real-time fraud alert for credit and banking. It has a VPN, antivirus, password manager, and even more. And this is all in one app. And let's just say if anything does happen, they got identity theft insurance, so you're protected all around. And if we're being real, me personally, I had already chose Aura before all of that. So here's what you should do. Try it for 2 weeks using my link, and you'll see just what data is being exposed. In the age of information, make sure yours is off limits. Thanks Aura for sponsoring the video. So after the government's really shitty release of the Epstein files through phase 1, I think the first thing that made people raise eyebrows was Trump's odd response in the cabinet meeting where he questions why Jeff Epstein is still being brought up.
From the jailhouse tape on the native set.
Yeah, sure. If I
Could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this.
I don't know, Trump. Maybe we're still talking about Epstein because these are the same files that would finally give us some transparency on who was involved in one of the most disgusting PDF rings in history after years. But to be honest, if my name was in there, I'd probably try to shift the conversation too. Ain't that right, Orange Man? Allegedly. The entire case is full of holes and mysteries. The main guy is mysteriously found unalived. The documents that could help fill the picture in are being suppressed. And then Trump went on and tweeted basically saying that the Epstein files are made up and they were written by the Democratic Party, which is very stupid because they made a spectacle about their accountability and transparency with the release of phase 1. And then the Orange Man doubled down on the stupidity on the freaking news.
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen. And I would say that, you know, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden information, you know, we went through years of that with the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well. And it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release, yeah.
I just think that Trump is so used to people following behind him and parroting his bigotry because, let's be real, he is the symbol of hate. If All Might is the symbol of peace, Trump can take the hate. He got so used to his diehard supporters rallying behind that hate that he thought he could gaslight people into thinking the files aren't real. It don't work like that, Trump.
There's no way out of
this one because people aren't letting up. The government actually ended up releasing the Epstein prison video, which I believe was the day of his death. But what makes this crazy is that not only did the story change multiple times, whether that be like the camera not working or whatever, but the actual footage had nearly 3 minutes missing from it. And then on top of that, the tape wasn't even a full one, but it was 2 different tapes spliced together. And then the Orange Man had the audacity to further double down. I mean, who would have thought Donald Trump was this stupid? Oh yeah, and did I mention he doubled down this morning also?
Yeah.
Mr. President, I know you want to move past all this intrigue over the Epstein files, but I do want to ask you to clarify something you said this morning. You said this was all a hoax. Has your Attorney General told you this was a hoax? What evidence have you seen of that?
No, it's not the Attorney General. No, I know it's a hoax. It's started by Democrats. It's been run by the Democrats for 4 years. You had Christopher Wray and these characters and Comey before him. And it's a bad group. It started, actually, look at the Steele dossier that turned out to be a total hoax. The 51 agents, the intelligence, so-called intelligence agents, it was a hoax. It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats. And some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net. And so they try and do the Democrats' work.
So, in general, the government thinks the people are so stupid that they can cover up one of the most well-documented and notorious crimes in US history, all while we have access to archives and the internet. That's all I had to say though. Remember, I'm not depressed. I love being on this earth. Subscribe for more unsolicited opinions. Everything I said regarding Trump and the government covering up anything is alleged. And this is still the dumbest cover-up in history.